Hello and welcome back. I am so excited that you've joined me again today. So today we're going to talk about something that is very real and happens often in the online world, but also in, corporate world as well. And that is scope creep. Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, I am Ray. I'm the CEO and founder of Posh Operations, and I train and recruit virtual assistants. So today I wanted to walk you through scope creep. And basically, scope creep is kind of what it sounds like, but it's when things that happen outside of what you initially agreed to. So these are changes outside of, maybe a proposal that you had made. It's outside of your schedule, your budget, or the resources that you have, or a lot of times it's just outside of your time that you've provided for your client. So we want to avoid scope creep as much as possible because it is going to hamper the value that we're able to provide for our clients. So the biggest thing here, we're going to go through a couple steps, but the first thing is I always want you to be very clear and upfront about what you are providing to your client. And so that can be the services that you're providing, the amount of time that you're able to work on your client's project. Okay, so these all need to be very clear in the beginning. And so first you need to analyze the situation and what you're able to provide and what your client needs. And from there, I want you to always document it. Excuse me. I want you to document this, okay? And so this needs to be either in your contract or some kind of an agreement. So you both agree that these are the services that you're providing. This is the amount of time that you're providing. Or, maybe it's a package deal. This is, what's included in that package. So the more clear that you can be in the beginning, the better you're going to be able to handle the scope creep when it presents itself. Now, changes are always going to happen, and you do need to have a level of flexibility within your business, okay? And we want to be able to be flexible as business owners, so we don't always want to be like, well, that's not my job, okay? So I prefer, like for me, I don't ever say that, okay? And there are times when I have to jump in and do something that isn't part of my job, and that's okay. But we have to be aware of this. So let's say you're in a launch, your client's launching some kind of product or course or whatnot, and you have to, maybe you're not the tech VA, but you have to jump in and do some tech stuff of Zoom real quick because you're about to go live. That happens, okay? And we need to be able to do that. We have to be willing to go above and beyond. But that's not always the case, right? So we can provide 5-star service without always compromising what we've agreed to. So when we have that documented list, we know that it's been communicated, it's been agreed upon. And as you go on in your VA journey, you're going to get better at knowing how to document this, how to communicate it to your clients so that you guys are both on the same page. Now, if this continually happens, like I said, Zoom event, you have to jump in and do something, no big deal, right? But if it's always someone asking for more, that's when you really need to either go back to your contract, and if you have the capacity to do more, then you have the conversation. You let them know that you're outside of your agreed hours or whatever it is. You just have that open, honest conversation with them, and usually they're very understanding. And the more that you have a strong relationship with your client, this is going to be an easy point for you to be able to figure out how to best handle the situation. Now, communication is really key here. So you always want to watch for the signs of scope creep. Okay. So if you're continually being asked to do more and there's just this expectation that you're always going to be there. Okay. You need to make sure that you have strong boundaries because we always want to enjoy our business. Now, you're not going to love every single day. Like no one loves every single day in their corporate job either. There's going to be hard days. There's going to be great days, but we need to make sure that we have strong boundaries. Now, if there's so much work that you've been asked to do, you need to be clear in how you're going to set the priorities and communicate those priorities to your clients so they understand that if you're going to take on this task, you might not actually be able to get to this task because you've only committed to 10 hours a week or whatever it is. And so if you can communicate that before it becomes an issue, you'll be in a much better place. Now, one thing to look for here to kind of like either see the signs or, avoid the traps is when people start saying, well, while you're in there, or while you're doing that, could you do this too? Or, can you just quickly do this? Or all you have to do is this, or, and a lot of times I also hear people say, well, it doesn't take that long to do this, Well, it might not take that long. Maybe it's only an extra 15 minutes, but if you're being asked to do all these additional tasks every single day, those 15 minutes are going to add up. And that's what I'm saying. If it's on occasion, just do it. It's fine. We want to provide high level service, but if it's a continuous thing, that's when you need to have the conversation. Now you can decide, take some time to think about it, but decide whether you want to have the conversation of increasing your retainer and adding more to what you're doing, or if you need to reevaluate the tasks that you have on your list with your client to make sure they fit within what you have agreed to. And both are fine. Both are, within what whatever is in your contract. It's just a decision that you have to make as a business owner. So, the more that you can manage scope creep, the more that you're aware of it and you look for the signs of it, the better you're going to be at handling it and, preventing it from happening in the future. The thing with scope creep is that if you allow it to keep happening, if you're a people pleaser, you just want to say yes, you want to do everything that someone needs because, you have this scarcity mindset that if you don't, that they're not going to, keep paying you or they're not going to, continue working with you, then that's where it becomes an issue because we're going to become resentful of our clients. We're not going to want to work with them. We're not going to, when we see their time come up on our time blocking calendar, we're gonna be like, oh, I got to work for them again today. And so I really want you guys to understand what scope creep is and to realize that it's not a good thing in your business. And you need to get ahead of it and make sure that you are very aware of what you've agreed to and what your capacity and your capabilities are. Okay. So just stick with it and make sure that you have that strong relationship with your client and you have strong communication. Don't be afraid to have those difficult conversations because if you don't have them, down the road, you're going to be too far gone. You're not going to care. You're not going to work with that client or not want to work with that client again. And in the end, you'll just end up losing that relationship, which is, like I always say, it's easier to keep a client than find a new one. So just some thoughts there on scope creep. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm always here to help.